Hey, how's it going, my deadly mercenary family? Cosmic Mercenary here, bringing you a new video. And today we're going to be talking about the Mike Tyson fight and what I thought about the overall experience. As you guys know, I love fighting games, but that love of fighting games really stems from my competitiveness. So honestly, does it really come to a surprise that I like boxing? Boxing is basically a real-life fighting game, so there's no-brainer that I love watching boxing. However, I would say that I prefer fighting games over boxing because at least in fighting games you're not knocking around someone's brain for like 12 rounds. The competition though is what I like about boxing. The blood, the sweat, the tears, the dedication that these athletes go to show their skills in the highest level, to go toe to toe against their opponent to see who's gonna prevail. That's like, gotta admit though, the idea is pretty cool, you know. That's why I love boxing. Friday night there was 4 fights in this Netflix live action main event or whatever. 1 amateur fight, which I honestly don't even know like the details about because I really didn't care about that one. 2 professional fights, and then the circus that was the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. I saw the first fight and I was excited because I didn't know the fighting lineup, so I was expecting a real fight, but what I got was just disappointment. It was alright for an amateur fight. I mean, I think like one of the guys did a couple professional fights in India, but I was just honestly just watching it. They were just not good of a fight. Wannabe Post Malone just didn't do much, and the Indian guy was dry fucking the wannabe Post Malone guy. So it's like, for whatever reason, but it wasn't that good of a fight. It wasn't that memorable. I didn't even remember their names. Second fight of the night was probably one of the best fights I have seen in a while. This was a championship title fight, and these guys were fighting like it was a championship title fight. It was clean, it was amazing, and it was great boxing. No hugging, no BS, just pure shuffling around, jabs, weaving in, out, you know, just pure, unadulterated boxing at its finest. It was just 2 fighters giving it their all in the ring, and it was so close that the judges called it a draw. And I honestly though, I thought Barrios won that fight. You know, came in strong. Ramos came in stronger during the later half of the fight. But I think in the last round, that's when Barrios won the fight for me. He just putting out more punches and more cleaner punches than Ramos, but it was still a fantastic fight. I'm not gonna drag it. It definitely, I agree, it could have been a draw. I just personally think they should have given it to Barrios. The third fight was just plain robbery. Like, there was nothing more to describe that fight. Amanda Serrano not only showed us how badass she was, just taking the hits, having that gnarly cut, and still fighting. Not only did she do that, but she showed us that she was better. That she outboxed Tyler in every step of this fight. Tyler did land some good, solid punches. Honestly, like, don't get me wrong, you know, kind of damaged Serrano a little bit, but you know what? Unless we're talking about headbutts here, because that's all Tyler did. Headbutts. If this was a Headbutts World Championship, then Tyler should have won. Then it was robbed from Tyler. But this wasn't the Headbutt World Championship. No. This was a boxing championship. And I and many others believe that it was stolen by Serrano. And I can't believe I saw such plain robbery take place that night. Like, I did not expect that at all. And it's heated. It makes me heated. And honestly, that Tyler did not deserve the win. If I were Tyler, honestly, I would be disappointed that I won, because deep down inside I would know that I did not deserve that win. Gonna be honest with you, I would feel like I did not deserve that win. The last fight, it was the main event, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, and you guys know how it went. It's not even worth talking about. You probably saw the fight and you know how it went. Honestly, what I took out of that fight was Mike Tyson was the real fighter in that fight. Even though he wasn't able to perform the way he wanted, he couldn't fight like he used to when he was younger. He was the only fighter in that ring. Jake Paul was just there to cash in that money. That was all that was happening in that ring. It was Jake Paul getting in that money and Mike Tyson fighting. He was the only fighter because, to be quite honest with you, he was 58. You know, he was struggling to stay up. He didn't move as well. He had like an injury in his leg. So Mike Tyson was the only fighter at that time in that ring. So honestly, even though Jake Paul won the fight, you know, honestly the real winner is Mike, because he was the one that went there. He fought with all he had. Even though it wasn't much, I wish I could have seen a little bit more. But you know what? If I for 58, why am I complaining? You know what I mean? I was sucking up that copium, you know? But I understand that he's 58. So he fought with everything he had. And he was the only fighter that went into the ring and came out of the ring. Honestly, I was hoping that Mike Tyson would knock down Jake Paul. But you know what? At one point I realized it's not going to happen, you know? And one thing that amazed me, though, was that some people probably didn't even see this fight as like a fight, the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson, because I saw seeing Mike Tyson fighting for his life over there in the ring, trying to overcome the obstacle, which is time, which is old age. What my brother saw was elder abuse, so it's kind of funny, you know, seeing the different perspectives, you know, from someone that's like passionate about fighting, and then my brother, which kind of probably likes fighting or boxing, you know, like he gets the idea. He plays some fighting games here and there, so it's just funny to see those results. But yeah, but that's pretty much my thoughts on the fights. Supposedly people were experiencing some issues during the event, that their stream wasn't working and there was a lot of glitches and malfunctions. And honestly, I didn't feel any of that. I was there from the very beginning. I didn't feel any of that except for when the Mike Tyson fight was about to start. So I think it was just honest. Like if I was already there, so I didn't feel it. I just did see a little couple like glitches, resolution downgrades, but honestly, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't as bad as like it crashing or not sending us the link or whatever. Like it was just fine. Also, I've been hearing around that people are saying that Mike Tyson and Logan Paul scam us for money. Like really? They scammed us? Because the last thing I saw was the fight was streaming on Netflix. And I'm almost positive that most people have Netflix. And if you don't, you have someone that has Netflix. So I don't see how Mike Tyson and Jake Paul scammed us. And that's not a defense on Jake Paul or Mike Tyson. I'm just saying, like, how did they truly scammed us, you know? Like, there are only like a couple, there are like 3 possibilities of how they scammed us, right? You actually bought Netflix that night just to see the fight. So I guess, sorry for you, you got scammed. 2, you actually went to the event and were there. You got scammed because you were there for the main event, which is Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul. And we're wanting to see a exciting match and just didn't lived up. Honestly, though, I think you did get your money's worth if you actually were there and you watched the first 2 real fights, you know, that weren't amateur fights. So I think you got your money's worth on those 2, honestly. So it's you still lost though, or 3, right? You placed bet on the fight, and honestly, I don't even know why you placed a bet on a fight. Like, to be honest with you, I was there with a little bit of sucking in the copium, hoping Mike Tyson would knock out Jake Paul. But like honestly, I knew it was gonna go like this. I just was at that point on from like round 1. Afterwards, I was just like, I hope this guy doesn't knock down Mike Tyson. You know, so I don't. So if anything falls in the category, I'm sorry you got scammed. But other than that, I don't see how they scammed us. If anything, they just scammed Netflix. All in all, I was actually happy. I watched the event. Not like a lot of people that are hating it. I think it was a decent event. Honestly, not even for the main event. The other 2 were basically the championship fights. And honestly, though, that's pretty cool. I liked them. They were pretty good. They were solid. They were amazing fights. Highway Robbery, one of them. But like, either way, they were still pretty good. So overall, I give this event A 7 out of 10. To be quite honest with you, really the main event really dragged it down a lot. If the main event was actually good, then I'd probably put this at 9. But it really dropped the ball of the main event. So if I had to rank the fights, it would be Ramos versus Mario, the first one, Tyler versus Serrano, the second one, and then the main event, Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul for the third one. And then I know that's the amateur, not amateur. I don't even know what kind of fight it was, but you know, that was the last one. But hey, what do you guys think about this? Huh? Did you see the fight? What do you think? Comment down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a like, and also don't forget I'm giving away a controller. Link for that video down below. Don't forget to follow me on my other social media accounts. But other than that, guys, thank you guys for watching. Stay vigilant, and see you guys next time.